This is David Fortier with the Bristol edition, and tonight we have a special edition of Talking Bristol. Rather than me interviewing someone on our live stream, we're going to feature a program that we've been involved with a while with the Bristol Boys and Girls Club. We have been interviewing people from the community as part of a grant that we received from the Main Street Community Foundation, and we partnered with the Boys and Girls Club to talk to people from Bristol about their experiences in Bristol and experiences with the Boys and Girls Club. At one time it was two clubs, the Bristol Boys Club and the Bristol Girls Club. So in our interview tonight with Pam Wilson, we have Elena, and she is going to talk specifically to Pam about not only her experiences growing up in Bristol, but also her experiences at the what was the Girls Club. It's a terrific program. What we have going on is something that we started way back in October. We intended to be finished with it a while ago, but we are still partnering with the Boys and Girls Club. We continue to work with them for a longer period of time because we've encountered a great bunch of kids. And we haven't even tapped the surface of all the people in Bristol that they could possibly be talking to. So tonight we have Pam Wilson in a special interview that was conducted by a member of our Bristol Boys and Girls Club team.
Hello, my name is Lena Sheikh, and I'm with the Bristol edition. Today we have Pam Wilson. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here. So, you've been at Bristol for about 76 years.
Just about. You're right. Exactly. I'm 79. I came here as a 3-year-old. So yes. So I've been here for a very, very long
A
time.
very long time.
Very long time.
So, do you have like the streets memorized, basically? Kind of?
My what memorized?
The streets, basically.
Well, they've changed over the years, but yes, I do. Yes, I can get my way around without my GPS. Yes.
So back then, did you used to stay primarily within Bristol, or like with transportation? How would that work?
Well, we had a lot of transportation, mostly our feet. And we had cars, but we didn't own cars. We used our parents' cars. But yeah, we basically stayed in town. We didn't really go out of town. There was no need to. We had a lot going on here. We had roller skating on Wednesday or Friday night and Saturday night. We had dances at the Boys Club every Friday night. We had Page Park in the summer. It was great. Anybody who was anybody went to Page Park. And seriously, you could walk the street and there were kids everywhere. So really, there was no need for us to go out of Bristol. No, we loved it here, and I still do.
I know Bristol is amazing.
It is. It absolutely is.
So speaking about the boys' club, you were at the girls' club.
We had a girls' club. We had the boys' club on Laurel Street, and we had the girls' club on Upson Street. And so when I was a young girl, I went to St. Anthony Grammar School, and we were one street over from the girls' club, and I lived on that side of town. So I would leave the school, walk over to the girls' club, and we could have free play. So you could go in, you could do anything you wanted. I mean, it wasn't really organized. So I did cooking. They had little rooms where you could play with dolls. We did that back then. And we loved just being there and playing. I took piano lessons there. And then I would be there for maybe a couple of hours. We'd even start some of our homework there. And then I would walk home. I knew it was time for supper. And that was kind of like a daily routine. It was great.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Boys and Girls Club now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Homework,
yeah.
Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Boys Club was also a very bustling place. I mean, any boy who lived on this, we had 2 boys clubs. We had Bristol Boys Club, and then we had Forestville Boys Club.
Okay.
And even though Forestville is a separate city, it was still part of Bristol.
Yeah.
So you either went to Forestville or you went to Bristol, and they kind of like that's how you identified yourself. I'm from Forestville, I'm from Bristol. I lived right on the border.
So it was easy for you.
Yeah, it was very easy for me, yeah.
So, growing up in Bristol, how was your experience here? I know you loved it.
I did.
But what is something that really stood out to you that other times have not had?
Well, not living in another town, I really can't tell you what
Yeah.
they lacked that we had.
Yeah.
I just know that we had a lot. I mean, if you were a kid, there was no lack of anything to do. Seriously, we had these little stores. We had spas on one corner, and we had Jonesy's on the other corner, and we had Novak on the other corner. And if you were in high school, whether you went to Central High School or it was called Bristol High School, or you went to St. Anthony, which I went to, after school, you went to one of those spots. So you would meet all your friends there. So you were either at spas or you were at Jonesy's. They were like rival groups. And then you had Novak, where all the sports guys went. Anybody who played baseball or basketball, all the sports guys went there. So if you wanted to see some really cute looking guys, you'd go over to Novak's and pretend you had to buy something. And they'd be sitting at the counter.
Is that how you met your husband?
Actually, I met my husband in high school. He was a senior, I was a junior. St. Anthony was not a big school. It was a very small parochial school. And I never even saw him my freshman or sophomore year. I didn't even know he existed. And for some reason, as a junior, wherever my classes were, somehow I noticed him. And I thought, my gosh, he's so cute. And I said, who's that guy? And they said, oh, that's Joe Wilson. And I said, oh, so he's new here? And they're like, no, he plays baseball. He's on the soccer team. I'm like, I never saw him before, but that was my first sighting of him. And I said, this guy's really, I like him a lot. And, we were married for 54 years. So I guess it was pretty good.
Amazing. 54
years. Yeah. Yeah.
What made that relationship so strong?
We liked the same things. We believed in the same things. I don't even remember a time we even had a fight. I mean, seriously, we were just compatible, very compatible. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's something that everyone looks for in life.
Oh, yes, they
Something
do.
that
Yes.
hopefully one day.
And I hope you get that too.
Hopefully one day. So where were you born in Bristol?
No, I was born in a little town called Carbondale, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
My dad was in the service, and he was stationed in London, England, and he was a musician, and he played in the army band. And so he met my mother, who was an English lady. She was from London. She was at a USO dance that he was in the band singing. He was also a singer. And my mother would tell me years later, she said, the two things I fell in love with, she said, when I met your dad, he had curly black hair and beautiful white straight teeth. And years later, he lost them both.
Oh, no.
But that's how they met. They married in London in 1945. And she came here as a British war bride back to Carbondale, where my dad was from. So I was born there in 1947. And we lived there for 3 years until my dad didn't have any work. So he got a job, and it happened to be here in Bristol at a company called the Wallace Barnes Company. And he worked there for 37 and a half years before he retired. So that's how we got to Bristol, and that's where we stayed.
What's the Wallace?
It was called Wallace Barnes Company, and then it became Associated Spring.
Okay.
And then Barnes Group, which is the parent company, is still downtown. But that's kind of, everybody had a job, it seemed, working in a factory. We had Wallace Barnes Company. We had New Departure. We had, I can't remember the name of the one we had on Hildreth Press, I think it was. But anybody who was anybody worked in a factory because they were just so productive. They made so many things, so many different things. You pretty much had a job for life if you got a job in one of these places, which he did. And years later, I would end up getting a job with Associated Spring, and I retired from there after 26 years.
Oh my God. So this is like generation after generation.
Yeah, generations. Yeah. My uncle worked there. My aunt worked there. My brother worked there. My father worked there. I worked there. So yeah.
Were your aunts and uncles in Bristol before you?
Well, my dad was the first one to come here. He's the oldest in his family.
Okay.
There were 7 kids in his family. He was the oldest to come here, and he got my uncle a job. So my uncle came here. Then my aunt came here with her husband because of a job. So eventually we got most of them here. A few of them stayed back in Pennsylvania, but most of them came here. Yeah, they settled in Bristol. Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you're a big Bristol lover.
Oh yeah, I do.
Do you
Yeah.
have a favorite food place here?
Well, you know what? We have so many good places to eat. We really do. I would hate to single out any one place because they're all so good and they all are different,
Uh-huh.
And really, let's face it, we all have different tastes,
Yeah.
right? Something I like, you might not like.
Yeah.
So, for me to recommend something only means I liked it,
Yeah.
right? But we do have a lot of great places to eat. So no particular place. No.
Well, I mean, you really love cooking, so
I
then
love
forget
cooking.
about eating outside. You can just make it at home.
I do. And there's a joke in my family because my kids love to go out to eat, and they'll be like, oh, we were at this place and they made blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I can do that. So it's like a joke. Every time they say they try something new, I'm like, I could do that.
You can do
Yeah,
that?
I can do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you just look at it and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Tell me what it tasted like and I'll know what to put in it.
that's magic in your hands, basically.
Yes, I do have magic.
Uh-huh.
A little Italian magic.
Italian magic?
Yeah.
Do you make any other foods other than Italian food?
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah. I mean, anything from a normal grilled cheese sandwich,
Uh-huh.
To something very, involved, I
Yeah.
guess you would say, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, anything.
Do you like spicy or salty?
I'm not a big spicy eater, but my family loves spice.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I add spice to some things that they like. Yeah.
That's good. So, in St. Anthony's, did you guys have like homecoming and prom just like
We had prom. We did not have homecoming. We didn't have a football team.
Oh,
St.
okay.
Anthony was a very small school. We had a baseball team.
Uh-huh.
And they were pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
We had soccer. My husband was captain of his soccer team.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he was very cute. This cute little legs. But we didn't have football, so we didn't have homecoming.
Uh-huh.
But we did have prom, and we combined our proms. Junior senior prom. It wasn't just the junior prom or the senior prom, it was the junior senior prom because the school was not that big.
Yeah.
So I went to my junior prom, which was his senior prom.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to my senior prom when he was in college.
So you guys met, or no, did you guys go to prom together?
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Both years?
Yeah. Well, no, his junior year, he took somebody else because I didn't know him then.
Uh-huh.
I met him when he was a senior and I was a
Oh,
junior. Yeah.
okay.
But luckily I got him.
Well, you're very lucky.
I was very lucky.
Very lucky. So how many kids do you have?
I have 3 children, all grown, all married, all have kids of their own. My oldest son is the music director, a creative music director for ESPN. My daughter she works at the Boston Infertility Clinic. She's an embryologist. And my youngest son he just recently got this job. He's the regional manager for Starbucks. He actually is in Iowa and he moved out there because he worked for Buffalo Wild Wings and he was the regional manager for all the Buffalo Wild Wings, but he got taken away by Starbucks. They offered him a much better deal. And he likes it better. It's better hours. So they all have great jobs. And all my grandchildren are doing great. They're all in college or graduated college. So yeah, big family.
So your son seems like he loves food, like the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, the youngest son?
Yeah.
Well, he likes to cook like I do.
Uh-huh.
And as a matter of fact, his wife, I think she had a culinary degree. So I always thought it was great going to their house to eat because they were both great cooks, But I have to say I probably do outdo him a little bit. But yeah, he loves food. He loves food.
What's your most famous recipe? Like family recipe?
Well, I don't know that I have a famous recipe. I know what they ask for all the time. They love my ricotta cookies and they love my chocolate chip cookies. Why? I have no idea. They're just plain chocolate chip cookies, but somehow I think whatever it is I do, it must be this magic. I don't know.
It's magic.
But they're asked for all the time. They love when I make them turkey. They love my stuffing. I don't know what's the big deal with that, but yeah. I mean, there's nothing that really stands out. I mean, I just love to cook.
You just love to cook?
Yeah, I just love to cook.
When did you learn to cook?
When I was really young at the girls club. I would go to the girls club and they had cooking classes and I took cooking classes there and I just fell in love with it. And my mom was a great cook. And we used to joke about it because, she was from London and their appetite is very bland. They don't really make a lot of food. And she married an Italian guy whose parents love to cook. And so my mother used to sit and watch my Italian grandmother cook. And she had a little black book, which I still have, and she would write down a fist of this, a pinch of that. They didn't use measuring cups. They didn't use, it was always just, guessing,
Literally magic in the hand.
literally magic. And that's how my mom learned how to cook, and I learned how to cook from her. And so it's kind of generational. Unfortunately, I didn't think I passed it along though to my kids. They'd rather come to my house.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so in Bristol, what types of jobs did you have?
Well, like I said, I worked at the Associated Spring.
Mhm.
For 10 years, though, my husband and I owned our own business. We had a bookstore in Bristol. It was called the Bookshelf of Bristol. And we ran that. And he was teaching school at the time when we opened it up. So I was running the bookstore.
What school was he teaching?
He was at the Memorial Boulevard, which is now Bames.
Oh, Baines. Okay.
Yeah. And so he was a 7th, 8th grade teacher there. And so we owned our bookstore. I was a hairdresser. That was my profession. I did that before I was married, and then I continued it after I got married for a little while. And then I had my children, so I did it at home. We opened up our bookstore, so I worked there. And then I got the job at Associated Spring when we closed our bookstore. And I worked there for 26 years. I retired from there, but then I decided I don't really like retirement because I thought I really still had a lot to do. So I got a job, and I actually worked at Bark in Bristol. And
What's
I,
Bark?
which Bark? It's on Jerome Avenue in
Oh,
Bristol.
okay.
And I was the administrative assistant to the director. And then she left there and she moved to another facility. So I followed her there, and I retired for a second time. And that time it was permanent. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
but so you love being busy.
Love being busy.
I'm the same exact way. Love
Yes.
being busy.
Good thing to do.
When you're not busy, what do you do?
When I'm not busy,
Yeah.
which is very rare, I probably would be on my iPad, catching up on news,
Uh-huh.
following Facebook, posting pictures of things I cook, or bragging about my grandkids, and visiting people, and love having company. So I'll have company. All of my kids have keys to my house, so they let themselves in at any given time. So yeah, I keep busy all the time though. It's very little time that I'm not doing something. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in high school they had student council?
We not at St. Anthony, we didn't have student
Oh,
council.
okay.
No.
But was there any like authoritative position that you could have took as a student?
Well, I mean, other than being class president and vice president
Uh-huh.
and secretary and treasurer,
That's student council.
it's
Yeah.
but we didn't call it that.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell you what we did do at St. Anthony. We used to have a day where we took over the city.
Really?
Yes. And so we ran elections at our school, and we had, I think they were called, one was called the Dems, and one was, it wasn't Republicans. It wasn't Dems and Republicans, but there was different names. And you ran so that you could be mayor of the city of Bristol for a day.
Oh,
And then
my
you took your
God.
whole staff with you. So you had anybody on the city council or the judge or whatever position, city clerk, And so we held these elections, and my team won. So we took over the city for the day, and we even took over the stores. So we had a WT Grants, which is no longer here, but stores like that, John Marie's, and we would send students there, and we worked for the day. They taught us what they did, and we ran the store for the day, and we ran the city for the day.
We need to do that.
It was a great experience. As a matter of fact, it was such a great experience that my husband loved it so much when he was in his year took over, because he did it as a senior.
Mhm.
Only the senior year did it. That he was a delegate to Boys State, so he got to go and debate, which was his big thing.
Mhm.
And years later he would be involved in government. He was elected city councilman for 10 years.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a great stepping stone if you wanted a career like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely the girls club impacted you, and
Yeah.
the boys club impacted your husband
Yeah.
so much.
Oh yeah. As it did a lot of other people our age.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for us.
I
you
look
know?
forward to seeing this type of experiences and growth from our future boys and girls club members.
Honestly, you're not limited by anything. You're only limited by yourself. Right?
Yes.
If you think you can't do something, it's you that's holding you back. You can do
Yes.
anything. You can do anything you set your mind to, you know?
Yes.
So remember that for the
Mhm.
future.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to the younger audience?
I would say if you have a passion for anything, I don't care what the passion is, pursue it. Pursue it. If you want it to happen, make it happen. It will happen. And, I mean, don't hold back. You are great. You are great. And don't let anyone ever tell you you're not. You are.
Yes. So, one last question. Um, what's your recipe for chocolate chip cookies?
If you again with the passion, I have that passion for cooking.
Mhm,
And I think for me, it's like I love to see somebody happy.
mhm,
I love to make people happy.
mhm.
So if my food makes them happy, then I'm happy.
Uh-huh.
So I think when I'm cooking, I really like put this love into the food. But basically, if for chocolate chip cookies,
Mhm.
there are two secrets that you need to know. Things have to be at room temperature. So your eggs have to be at room temperature and your butter has to be at room temperature. And it makes a big difference in your chocolate chip cookies. And don't use cheap chocolate chip cookies. Buy the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
Buy the good stuff because it won't melt on you. It'll stay.
Mhm.
Right. So, and don't overcook them.
Okay. I will definitely be using that in my
And
next
yeah,
cooking. But it's been amazing. I love this conversation with you.
I had fun doing this. Thank
Yeah.
you.
This is Elena Shake, and I'm with the Bristol edition.
This is David Fortier again, and we hope you're enjoying what you're viewing. And I just wanted to remind you that everything you're seeing, from the production to the interviewing, everything was produced and handled by the young people that are that are behind the scenes and also in front of the camera. So that's kind of where we are right now, and I'm hoping you're enjoying what they're doing. I know when I watched this particular interview, I got a big kick out of the work that they did. So we hope you will continue to watch and that you will enjoy what you see.
Were you hesitant at first to participate?
No,
You were ready to?
I
No.
was ready. I was like, you tell me what I'm doing, and then it's done.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was younger, the first time I was here was when I was 5.
Mhm.
And they might not remember, but I remember those good memories that I was a little bad kid. I was a really good, sassy kid, but they loved me. They respected that. And I've been really decent sometimes, but when they know something's going on is when I'm quiet because I'm a really loud girl. And yeah, I love the Boys and Girls Club. My closest friend or associates here is Gabby, Joe, Jess, Vanessa, and others. It was let's give a shout out to Caleb. I don't
Okay.
know his last name, but Caleb, he used to work here. He was the best. He gave us energy. He gave us like good quotes and everything to think about. So thank you a lot, Caleb. And yeah, the Boys and Girls Club has changed a lot out of the past few years. They are more strict, not strict, focused now. Not
It's a
saying
great
that
word. That's a great word.
they're not like, never saying that there wasn't, but
Mhm.
they're more like, oh, you did something, snap, we have to talk about it.
Mhm.
They're the right people to come to. The Bristol Boys and Girls Club is a really great club to watch your kids. They are respectful. They feed us. They treat us respectfully. And yeah, like this Boys and Girls Club is the best.
And
I've really been the type of person to like put myself up front to like I like to see myself in the spotlight. When I was younger, in elementary school, we had an opportunity to be on the news. So I woke up extra early, 5 a.m., and went on the news, spoke about like, oh, I'm so excited. It was like my first day of 4th grade. So I feel like since then, just the feeling of like being on camera and just speaking to others confidently really is something that like interests me.
what are the things that you do to help yourself in this art?
I feel like asking like my mentors like you, how I should improve on what are my mistakes. I really want to know my mistakes. Like, okay, I probably do everything perfect, but I'm sure there's something out there that like is not the best on. Like I remember I was struggling with um instead of making it sound like a list that I have to get done, I have to make it more of like a conversation. So getting to know that and improving on that, making the conversation more like in a flow, I feel like was definitely like a big.
Yeah.
I feel like the programs at Boys and Girls Club, like this, for example, it definitely like strengthens you as a person, as a student, as a sister, as a anything, you know? They like these programs, they built different things in you. Like this definitely improved my like public speaking skills. So I'd say for anyone who's coming here, take advantage of all these programs. They're gonna get you somewhere. Like look at me, I'm going to California for the first time. So definitely take advantage of all the programs. They're gonna look amazing on your college application. And yeah, have fun while you're at it. Don't feel forced to do it. If you're enjoying it, then do it.
I think it's a great place to like spend time with friends, also learn. You could like learn different things. Like for example, this program, I learned stuff that I didn't know before. I didn't know how to like I didn't know how to like use the microphones the way that they're using it now. Sometimes I should use like a wireless microphone connected to my phone and then just or to the computer. I should did it like that, but it taught me a lot. The programs here are very nice. The people here are amazing. Um, they take care of you. They they teach you a lot. They help you like be a better person, and they help you like not commit the mistakes that you've committed before. At first I thought it was gonna be hard, but then I got the hang of it because it was like it's like different equipment from what I used to use. But it was pretty easy. I got the hang of it. I like it because it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like where I can like engage more. It's kind of like my spot.
I hope you enjoyed our interviews that were conducted and produced by our young people over at the Boys and Girls Club. I want to give a round of applause and a big thank you to our major participants, Sam and Azela and Elena. When this program winds down as being members of our inaugural edition, they will receive certificates from the Bristol edition on their participation and their accomplishment because over this course of the year, they've shown a lot of progress. And so they're terrific kids. And so we wanted to kind of mark their progress with that certificate. Along those lines, we will be posting later on in the week on the Bristol edition, the entire interviews with Sam, Sammy, Azela, and Elena. So come back, check those out. And as we go through and continue with the program, you will see more of our interviews. So thanks very much for watching.